What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Since she's in not one but two movies out this week, she's in that new Xavier Dolan film, The Life and Death of Xavier, John F. Donovan with Kit Harington, and she's of course in Clint Eastwood's new movie Richard Jewell. I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Kathy Bates movies. Because she's, of course, she's a legend. She's an Oscar winning actress. She's got nominated for Emmys loads of times. Really amazing actress. So, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Kathy Bates movies. Alright, coming in at number 10, it is Midnight in Paris. Now, she, of course, plays the role of Gertrude Stein. And, of course, she was like a writer and artist in 1920s Paris and all. And you of course got Owen Wilson, who plays this guy named Gil Pender, who's a screenwriter and aspiring novelist who ends up vacationing in Paris with his fiancee, played wonderfully by Rachel McAdams. But he ends up taking a tour during the city alone, and he ends up encountering a group of strange yet familiar faces, including art of literature, including of course he ends up meeting Ernest Hemingway. He ends up meeting Stein. Some really interesting literary characters. You have Tom Hiddleston as F. Scott Fitzgerald. He was terrific here. Movies directed by Woody Allen. Probably one of his best movies in recent years. It's a really amazing film. Wilson gave a really great performance. His on-screen chemistry with Kathy Bates was pretty cool. Like, Kathy Bates played the role of Stein really well, and she was one of the highlights in the movie, and a very standout. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Midnight in Paris, really terrific film. Alright, coming in at number 9, it is The Waterboy. Now, this isn't really this is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, but it's not really my top tier favorite Sandler films. But you got Sandler, who plays Bobby Boucher, while Kathy Bates steals the show as his overbearing religious mother, who's who's like a very comedic version of Carrie's mom, and she isn't really like a villain like Carrie's mom or anything, but she's a little similar to the Carrie mom. But still, Waterboy is pretty funny. I mean, it has lots of moments in it. The girl from The Craft, Faria's Bulk, was also great in this. I mean, who did not love Bulk? Henry Winkler was in this movie. I really like Waterboy. I mean, it's not really an Adam Sandler movie I go back to watch over and over again, but it's still pretty funny, entertaining. Bates and Sandler's chemistry in this was great. If you guys haven't seen Waterboy, I say give it a shot. Alright, coming in at number 8, it is Revolutionary Road. Now, here you got Kathy Bates, who plays Helen Giddings, who's this local realtor who ends up befriending Leo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet's couple character after finding them a home in the of course in the 50s. And you got Micah Shannon, who plays her mentally stable son in this. I mean, the movie's directed by Sam Mendes. It's a film about marriage. Really terrific film. Kathy Bates stole loads of scenes in this. Of course, she have worked with DiCaprio and Winslet before. I'm going to get you that later on. But Revolutionary Road is a really terrific movie. If you guys never seen it, go check it out. Alright, coming in at number 7, it is A Home of Our Own. Now, this is probably one of Bates' most underrated roles. In it, she stars as this character named Frances Lassay, who's a single mother of 6 children who ends up moving from LA to head north for a new life. And so, while driving she ends up coming across a old duplicated house, and Francis ends up seeing the house as a immediately to know that it will also be theirs as well. And it's pretty interesting. You had Edward Furlong as her son. Kathy Bates was magnificent in this movie. It's directed by Tony Bill. And I mean, Kathy Bates really played a strong woman here. I mean, she really like the mother and son dynamic chemistry between her and Furlong is really terrific. I mean, if you guys haven't seen, like, if you guys really haven't seen A Home of Our Own, give it a shot. It's a pretty good film. All right, coming in at number 6, it is Bad Santa 2. Now, granted, this movie isn't as good as the first Bad Santa, but I still got a kick out of it. It's pretty fun. I mean, you got Kathy Bates who plays Billy Bob Thornton's foul mouth mother here, who ends up teaming up with her son and the Marcus character played by Tony Cox to rob this charity fund. You also had Christina Hendricks. I mean, Kathy Bates was. I mean, she really cursed a lot in this movie. I mean, this and that movie, The Boss, she cursed a lot in. Like, who knew that Kathy Bates could have that much of a foul mouth? But that aside, Bates was still terrific. Her, like, on-screen dynamic chemistry with Billy Bob Thornton was pretty great. Those two actually worked together in another film. I'll talk about that later on. But, yeah, I really got a kick out of Bad Santa 2. It's, like I said, it's not as good as the first film, but still pretty decent. I kind of got a kick out of it. Alright, coming in at number 5, it is, speaking of Billy Bob Thornton, coming in at number 5, it is Primary Colors. Now here you got Kathy Bates, who plays Libby Holston. Now, of course, she ends up being employed at the White House, and she's also a news writer here as well. So there's that too. You had John Travolta. I mean, he plays like a Bill Clinton like character. And the movie, of course, was directed by Mike Nichols. You had Emma Thompson was also in this. Bates actually scored a Oscar nomination, a well-deserving nomination there. And it is, I guess you could say, similar to the Bill Clinton scandal, but that it's still a really terrific film. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Primary Colors, it's really good. I mean, she is Holden is a very ruthless character here, and she ends up like digging up dirt to destroy anyone who like get in her way here. But she plays that role really well. Definitely go check out Primary Colors if you guys haven't seen it. Alright, coming in at number 4 is About Schmidt. Now, About Schmidt is pretty terrific here. It is directed by Alexander Payne. You got Kathy Bates, who plays this woman named Roberta Herzl, who's this free spirit woman who ends up having who ends up being smitten with Jack Nicholson's character. And Jack Nicholson was great in this. And of course, there's the hot tub scene between Nicholson and Bates. And you also had Hope Davis was also in this, Dermot Mulroney, June Squibb. Some really cool cast members, great performances by Nicholson and on. If you guys haven't seen About Schmidt, it's really terrific. Alright, coming in at number 3, it is Fried Green Tomatoes. Now here you got Kathy Bates, who plays the role of Evelyn, and of course this is a female, a really amazing female centered film. And Evelyn is like this housewife who's trying to rekindle the romance in her marriage. And she also ends up befriending with a couple of fellow females here. And the females in this are great. You got Mary Stuart Masterson, Mary Louise Parker, Jessica Tandy, Cicely Tyson. Lois Smith is in this. Some really great cast members. Bass is really remarkable in this movie. Really great script. Great. Bates' Evelyn character is one strong woman there. Really good film. Definitely go check out Fried Green Tomatoes if you guys never seen it. And it's a 90s classic too. Alright, coming in at number 2. Speaking of Bates, Winslet, and DiCaprio, obviously number 2 is Titanic. Now, crazy fact is, Kathy Bates is actually one of the only she plays the only real life person in this movie, and she plays the character of Molly Brown, who is one of the only real characters in the film, and she of course is a loud, sardonic, and uncuffed woman, and Bates really played the character so darn well. She actually didn't really sink die with the Titanic and all. So there's that too. But she was really great in this, and of course James Cameron directed. I mean, Titanic is remarkable. All right, now Kathy Bates' best movie of all time, obviously, is the film that won her an Oscar. That goes to Misery. I mean, obviously, Misery will be number 1. It's the movie that won her an Oscar. She played the creepiest character ever, Annie Wilkes, who ends up being very, very obsessive over the author Paul Sheldon, played wonderfully by James Caan, directed by Rob Reiner. I mean, this movie is based on a Stephen King book. Annie Wilkes is probably one of the most creepiest. Right. She is definitely one of the most, besides Pennywise, obviously, she is one of the most creepiest Stephen King characters there is, and she played the role really well. I mean, the stuff that she does in this, remember the scene with her and banging on James Caan's leg? I mean, that scene is pretty intense. I mean, she won her Oscar for a reason for this film, and a well-deserving win. So, yeah, if you guys never seen Misery, it's very suspenseful, creepy. Go check it out. It is Bates' best work ever. So, and by the way, real quick, Lizzie Kaplan is also pretty good as playing Annie Wilkes in the new Castle Rock season. So, there's that too. But alright, computer's about to die, so I better hurry this up. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Midnight in Paris. 9, The Waterboy. 8, Revolutionary Road. 7, A Home of Our Own. 6, Bad Santa 2. 5, 5, Primary Color. 4, About Schmidt. 3, Fried Green Tomatoes. 2, Titanic. And 1, Misery. Now, she's been loads of other stuff as well. Dolores Kilburn, which I never really cared for. Lots of people like that movie. I'm not really fond of that film. She was in Tammy, The Blind Spot, Valentine's Day. Failure to Launch she was in. That movie stunk. Tyler Perry's The Family That Prays, Day the Earth Stood Still, On the Basis of Sex with Felicity Jones. She's been in some good TV stuff as well. American Horror Story, Disjointed. I mean, Kathy Bates, she's incredible, and cannot wait to see how great she is in Richard Jewell. And of course, she just got an Oscar nomination for it. So, not an Oscar nomination, a Golden Globe nomination. I meant to say she might get nominated for an Oscar for it, but we'll see. Anyway, gotta hurry up because my computer is about to die. Let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Kathy Bates movies? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C Movie signing off.